We're live. We live. We live. We live.
We live, baby.
We live. It's been a minute. We
Yes,
back.
sir. We back.
We back in a new place, a new setup. Hope you guys like it. It took a minute. Finally got some internet. Finally got some.
Yes.
I feel good now. I feel
The
good.
struggle was real for a while.
For a while.
It's all good now.
My PS4 broke. I can't play no games, so I had to buy an Xbox. I had to buy an Xbox. It's been a lot going on. I just moved. You see how I decorated my house? You like it?
Yeah, I saw that. I like that. Got the spider webs and cobwebs.
So I'm upset we don't have two bushes because I want to do two like that, but it's still work regardless. We was gonna put like a black thing on though. You still boring us, so I was gonna put something on that. But we're just gonna spray keep out on it. Kind of what's here. So yeah, we're gonna hear what's going on, you guys. This is Alex, my boy John. You know, we usually do this thing called Nerd Talk. We started doing it last year. We stopped doing it because a lot of stuff started going on. My boy got married. I started a new relationship. I moved. So a lot of things was going on. That's the reason why we stopped doing this. So we're trying to get back on it, trying to get back on the ball. We missed a lot of stuff within this last year. Spider-Man came out, Guardians, all that stuff. We missed all that. But we still got the rest of the year to talk about. And we're going to start off with talking about the newest Justice League trailer. You already know we got the pop setup and everything. So we're going to give our thoughts on the trailer and what we hope for the movie, man. Go ahead, John. When do you want to start?
I like the trailer. I watched it 3 times. Well, you know, because the first time, you know, I was just on the hype train.
Right.
The second 2 times, I watched it from an analytical point of view. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give this trailer 7.5. I understand what they were trying to do. This trailer felt very, very joyful and feel good. They wanted to be like, hey, we're having a good time. This is not Batman versus Superman. But you can tell where Joss Whedon's humor and wit comes in, because you know his style is very, very distinct. You can almost tell a Joss Whedon movie from one scene.
This had an Avengers feel or also a Serenity feel.
Yeah, I got more Serenity from it than
I don't think Josh is stupid. He's not gonna make both properties look the same or act the same. So and they have 2 different characters. They have all different type of characters. So I was watching like, oh, he's getting that feel. Especially at the end where the bat symbol guy. Oh, look at the hold on.
Yeah,
that's right there. Like
100%
totally
Joss Whedon
right there.
Joss Whedon line. It still has Zack Snyder's visual style. It still looks like a Zack Snyder movie. But some of the dialogue, actually most of the dialogue in this trailer is very Joss Whedon-esque. Because like I said, he has a signature style, and you can tell a Joss Whedon movie as soon as it's on, as soon as people start talking, you know it's Joss Whedon. But I get that kind of vibe that you get from an ensemble cast. You know, the type of movies that come out around Oscar time. It's got a lot of heavy hitters in it, like stuff like Spotlight and Collateral Beauty and what's the movies about the holidays? New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day. I got a very hopeful feel from that trailer. They were almost well, not almost. They were most certainly affirming that this movie will be a fun, feel-good movie. As far as what's going on in the trailer, they showed a little less action than the last trailer, and a little more narrative. It's shorter than the last trailer.
Yeah, the last trailer was like 4 minutes long.
Yeah, and this one's like 3 minutes.
They cut it. They cut it last. I I went to the theater. They cut it down. That trailer that was the 4 minute. They cut it down though. It was like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I did like is that it wasn't that long. It was short. And it just got to the point of the action. It just threw us into the action, and characters interact. The characters interacting with each other. You know, kind of like what the Avengers did, where they were doing all their stuff together. They had scenes like that where Aquaman's doing this thing. No, Cyborg's gonna catch him, and you're gonna fly with me because we're about to be working together. Like I like scenes like that. That's the one thing I liked about this trailer. That it showed us all of them working together. You see Batman driving down. No, Wonder Woman's gonna help you take out one of them and look like a straight badass.
A lot of character interaction in this trailer. The last trailer was just an action fest. It didn't really have a whole lot of narrative. This, even though it was a shorter trailer, this trailer had a lot more narrative, but it didn't give you major plot points. It gave you a basic outline of what is going on. You know, these parademons and are coming from another planet. They've been here before, and they're coming back, and they're gonna take over. We're not strong enough individually. We have to come together. I made Superman a promise that I'm gonna live up to his legacy, and we're going to take care of that. And that was the trailer. It didn't give you where these people came from, or where the villain came from. It didn't show anybody of any importance dying. It did show like one of the soldiers turning into a parademon, which I thought was dope. But it didn't give away too much. It was just enough sweetener to give us a taste of what's going on. Personally, I think more trailers should be like that one, although I did enjoy the last trailer much more just because it had more action and it was very fun. But as far as story and, you know, just giving us what the movie is about without giving away too much, I think more trailers should be like that one, at least for superhero movies.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. My thing, what I did love it was the visuals. It do feel like a Zack Snyder movie. I don't want these movies to change their design, the way they look. This dude looked like BVS, and I wanted to stay just like that. When I watched one, I felt like it was a DC movie. That's the one thing I did like about this trailer. They all feel like they're in the same universe. They don't feel like they're out of place. My favorite scene probably up there is the scene, like I said, where Batman's driving down, Wonder Woman helps him. I love those type of scenes in the trailer. I did get that feel good movie because everyone's smiling, everyone's happy. Well, you're not saying they're smiling, but everyone's feel like they're having a good time.
They're optimistic.
Yeah, everyone's feel like they're having a good time doing what they're doing. They feel like they're doing something good. You know, they feel like they're doing something good. I love the line where Batman said, "I made Superman a promise. We needed Superman." I just wanted a hint of him in the black suit, at least at the end. At least a black cape or something.
I'm so glad.
Something, man.
I'm so glad that they didn't show it and they only showed Clark in that Lois Lane vision. That was good. I don't want to see any Superman until I get to the movie theater.
Hopefully, no TV spots. No TV spots. TV spots will spoil it.
Yes,
no TV
absolutely.
spots. That's what I'm glad.
Even though TV spots are like 20 seconds long, they spoil a lot.
That's just like when Super Bowl trailers come out, man. I just hate them, really. They showing a little more than I want to see. I just want to see a snippet of just a snippet.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention the music, the song. That song that they picked for this trailer was perfect. I mean, each song that they picked for the trailer is perfect, but this one in particular was really good. It's Heroes by David Bowie. I love that song. I'm a big David Bowie fan, and it felt very appropriate for this tone of trailer. Like I said, they were just trying to affirm that everybody's optimistic, and it's going to be very different from any previous tone that we've had, and that song was perfect.
Alright, that's just our quick thoughts on the Justice League trailer. Go ahead and check it out. It's obviously, it's all on there. You can go ahead and watch it as well. We'll go ahead and segue to a newest trailer that just released. It's a sequel to another movie that already released a couple years ago called Pacific Rim. If you haven't seen Pacific Rim, it's about basically this organization that these giant robots that basically fight giant monsters. I mean, we basically get Transformers meet Godzilla, smash into one, boom, you got Pacific Rim. I highly enjoyed Pacific Rim. I think it gets more flack than it does success a little bit, in my opinion. I think people are down on it more than they talk.
I wouldn't say people talk down on it.
People don't give it the recognition that it deserves.
I'll give you that. Guillermo del Toro has a specific style, and he has a specific demographic. He's a big time director with a cult demographic.
You're definitely right about that. I think the biggest thing that everybody probably knows is Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people don't know he did. Well, Pan's Labyrinth. I'm not lying. Pan's Labyrinth.
Pan's Labyrinth.
He did Hellboy 1 and 2. He wants to do 3, but he doesn't have the budget for it. They don't want to give him like $250 million, and it don't make.
Well, you know they're remaking Hellboy.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's something he wanted to do 3, but they wouldn't give him the studio wouldn't give him the money for it. But there's another movie he recently did. It starred I think Tom Hiddleston was in it.
Oh, Crimson Peak?
Yeah, that Crimson Peak. That recently came out, didn't do that well. He's not, but Guillermo del Toro isn't directing this one. It's a different director, or is he directing this too?
I don't know. If anybody knows, comment the director on that.
I don't think he is. I don't think he's directing. They didn't put his name in it. You know, they'll put his name in the trailer. They didn't show his name at all. Yeah. So maybe it's not, but I wouldn't be surprised. My thoughts on it, I highly like the trailer. I like the I just wished it was a little bit shorter, because if it's a teaser trailer, well, no, they say it's an official trailer. It's not a teaser trailer, so maybe it's the right.
It's the first official trailer.
Maybe it's the right time, but I just feel like maybe just cut out a little bit. They showed a lot. I feel like I don't need to watch no other trailers.
Yeah.
They showed a good enough amount of stuff. Especially at the end of last with the big monster. They said, "Oh, this is a pretty big one." I hope that's not the end. Hopefully that's like in the middle.
I feel like that's the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They kind of showed a lot. They showed a lot, and I'm like, hold on. You guys are showing a lot.
I feel like that's the end. I like the trailer. The only thing that I didn't like about the trailer, you know, what I told you earlier, was about the line that John Boyega delivers towards the beginning of the trailer. He says the same line that Idris Elba gave in the speech at in the third act of the first movie, when he says, "Today we're canceling the apocalypse," and I wish he hadn't said that at that point in the trailer.
Like toward the beginning, like towards the middle when he says it.
It was
basically like he giving a speech just like him.
Yeah, it was about 30-40 seconds into the trailer. I wish he had said that at the end of the trailer, because that is a fantastic line. That one line is one of the highlights from the first movie, because Idris Elba delivered it so well. I wish they had saved that for the end of the movie, for the end of the trailer. It would have made it more epic. It would have tied everything together.
I like the action. I like the specs. I think John Boyega about to knock it out of the park. He's tied to another franchise. He's also tied to Star Wars, obviously. So he's doing really well as his little career. I love that he kept his accent. Obviously, because Idris Elba had an accent in the last one. He had an accent in the last one.
So that's Idris Elba's natural accent.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I love that, and that's John Boyega's natural accent. That's something I love that they kept it. They didn't change it. Because that's one of the nitpick of people saying in Star Wars, like, why do he have to have an American accent, but he doesn't have his original accent in Star Wars, but really, like Daisy really has her accent.
Like you said, that's a nitpick.
Yeah, that's something. I'm just pointing that out.
But I
love that.
I read somewhere that's something that he chose to do.
Right.
I don't think they made him speak with an American accent. I think he chose to do that just for the character. He probably saw the character.
Felt like he would speak
American
accent.
Right.
I love the trailer. I love the music. Another trailer that had a good song to it. I like the song too. It felt really like uplifting. Like, oh yeah, they about to dog some monsters, and they felt really good doing it. I felt kind of a Power Ranger-esque type feel with like Megazords a little.
Well, yeah,
bit. I kind of wish that what I was about to say is something like I was thinking about. I want to see more of the cause you saw a lot of the I can't get it out. Yeah. Saw a lot of that, but it's like, is that it though? I want to see more of the characters, more about them. It felt like it was just them inside the suits and that's it. Like,
you talking about
the essence of each character. Yeah, you just see it showed most of. I know we're gonna be following John Boyega's character. You just saw him. You didn't see really no one else. Like, no, this is more of an action-heavy trailer more than a character-development trailer. Obviously, we're gonna get another one that probably be more of a story.
They show little snippets of the people that's returning from the last movie, like the two doctors or whatever. But I do feel you on that. I feel like they should have showed at least one more character other than John Boyega. But piggybacking on what you said about the Power Rangers field, that the first movie was basically a Power Rangers prototype.
Yeah.
It showed filmmakers that a movie with giant robots and giant monsters can work without looking ridiculous. Because even though it was big and grand, it didn't feel campy.
Right.
And it didn't feel, I won't say campy because Power Rangers is campy, but it didn't feel corny. Right. You know what I mean? Like it didn't
over the top.
Yeah, it was grounded. Even though it was big and grand, it felt grounded. So going forward, for Power Rangers sequels and possibly a Voltron movie, I think they should refer back to the first Pacific Rim.
Yep. You got anything else to say about the trailer?
I can't wait for the movie.
Yeah, I'm ready for it too. It's coming out March. They haven't given us official date, but it'll come out in March 2018. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. They made me want to watch the first one again. They made me want to watch the first one again. That's one thing. They made me want to pop that in. So we're going to go ahead and segue. Oh no, I want to talk about there's a Star Wars trailer coming out tomorrow.
Oh, what? I didn't know that.
There's a teaser, just showed.
It's a teaser for the trailer?
So, teaser for the teaser trailer.
Man, I hate when they do that.
No, this is actually the second trailer, because they already did the first trailer. They did teaser.
Yeah.
But they show basically Daisy really just waving her lightsaber around.
Wait, is this the second trailer or is this the third trailer?
It's the second trailer. They got the first trailer showed that Daisy really had put her hand, like they shot the first trailer, the last trailer, just like the last trailer. Yeah. Where it shows, like it opens up exactly the same way where John Boyega looks up and go, like they shot that exact same. It's shot the exact same. So that's the first trailer. This is the second trailer, and I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it. I love that Star Wars only do true trailers. They only do 2. They don't do like 4 or 5. Because I think The Force Awakens only had 2 trailers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it only had 2 trailers. So I like that they only keep it to 1 or 2. You know? Star Wars is something you don't need to show a lot. I'm ready to be, I'm ready to go into it not knowing a lot. Right. Because when I went to Force Awakens, I didn't know it was going to be like, like that.
Right. I can already tell that this Star Wars movie is going to be pretty dark. Because they even changed the color of the font to red, and it's been yellow every other movie.
Some shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
Some shit's about to go down.
Yeah,
and I'm really hoping Luke don't die, but that's probably what's really leading to that he's gonna die.
Who do you think is the last Jedi? Do you think it's Luke or what's his face?
Rey.
Yeah, Rey.
I don't think it's Rey. I don't think Rey's the last Jedi. I just think the last Jedi is just a term. I don't think it's actually a person.
I don't know.
I don't think it's Luke though. I don't think Luke's the last Jedi.
I think
that'll be too obvious.
I think
say that Luke is the
I
last
think
Jedi.
Rey is the last.
Because you can't say he's not because, well, technically Kylo Ren is a Jedi. He just switched to the dark side. Technically not, he's a Sith. But he was technically a Jedi before he was a Sith. Yeah. So he could technically be the last Jedi. So I don't know. I don't think we may not have seen the last Jedi. It might be someone else.
Yeah, but I mean based on what we already know from Force Awakens, Force Awakens was clearly a New Hope. Just like it took the same cues, same plot.
It was bringing us back into the franchise.
Yeah.
So it had to.
And I think if they keep doing that, Luke is gonna die. Yeah,
but that's why I'm really hoping that's not gonna happen. Because if he does die, let him die in episode 8. Don't let him die in episode 9, not 8.
If he doesn't,
let him die at 9. Let him be. I want him to be throughout this whole film. then cross over to the next one, then like be next to Rey when they go against Snoke.
Yeah.
That's how I wanted it to be. Kind of like how where Luke was with Darth Vader when he went against Lord Sidious, the Emperor. Kind of like that in Return of the Jedi. I want to be like that, but it's different because now it's Snoke and Kylo Ren now, so it's gonna be 2 against 2.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
I really hope that they don't. I don't want them to redeem Kylo Ren.
No, I want him to die. Him killing Han Solo doesn't make him redeemable.
Yeah, that.
And the reason why he
needs
did
to stay bad.
The reason why he did it.
Yeah.
The reason why he did it.
I don't want them to do the Darth Vader and.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna go in that specific time. I think they're gonna keep him bad because he wants to be bad. He doesn't want to be good. Because you see in Force Awakens, he's telling the Darth Vader helmet that he wants to stay bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna go back to good. He killed Han Solo to stay bad. Spoiler. He killed Han Solo to stay because he knew that's what he had to do to go to the dark.
Yeah. Now that's one thing that confuses me. Does he not know that?
You know that Darth Vader is his grandfather.
No, I know he knows that he's his grandfather. Does he not know that Darth Vader had a hand in taking down the Empire?
I'm sure he does. But he probably looks
just
at that.
Ignored it?
Yeah, he probably just ignores that and just look at what he did from when the fall of the Jedi up to before he
fall of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay.
He probably looks at just that point in time where he was that nigga. I'm sorry, I gotta bring it up. That scene in Rogue One, bro, man, he's that nigga. That's what it made me want just a movie based on that point of time from when he after
between
3 and 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4.
I want to see that movie with him, and maybe we've seen too much Darth Vader already because we have a whole trilogy basically. We have all 6 movies that we dedicate to him, but I want to see a single movie he's being him and it's focused on him. He's the main character. Yeah. But maybe we can't do that because maybe he's better as a character that comes in and do what he did in Rogue One, or even like in the original trilogy. He wasn't the main focal point.
Right.
It was about Luke. Luke was that character we can follow.
Right.
And Darth Vader's a villain. It's be tough to follow a villain throughout, something like that. Because we have to make the villain redeemable some type of way.
Not necessarily.
I mean, because even if you want to give an example, look at Suicide Squad. These are villains that we have to follow throughout the whole movie.
But
and then they end up being redeemable because of what they do.
Okay, I'll give you a perfect example.
Unless the story thrives that way.
I'll give you a perfect example of a movie following a villain. Even it's from another character's point of view, but the villain is the main character. It's not even a superhero movie. Training Day.
Ah, that's a good one. I was gonna say No Country for Old Men.
Denzel Washington.
That guy kind of does that too.
I've never seen.
You gotta see it. It's really good.
I'll check it out. But Denzel Washington is the main star. The story is told through Ethan Hawke's point of view, but you see Denzel Washington most of the time, and he's irredeemable. He's killing people left and right.
You really want him to fail at the end. You really want him to go down.
Right, it's hard to root against Denzel Washington, but in that movie,
I don't know, you can say the same thing about you, but you never seen American Gangster. American Gangster is actually American Gangster. He's the villain technically, and he's the most he's the villain.
But Russell Crowe's the guy. That's different. He's redeemable.
Not really though.
Because all right, Frank Lucas was a man of principle.
Yeah.
Alonzo Harris was vindictive, and he was malicious. Mm-hmm. He was greedy.
Right.
Frank Lucas wasn't necessarily greedy.
Right.
He was just a man of principle. It's like I'm gonna sell my stuff with my name. Don't touch it. If you get it, then you do something to it. Call it something else because it's not Blue Magic no more. That's what he was selling Cuba Gooding Jr.
Right.
at the club. But he knew that other drug dealers was buying his stuff. It wasn't until they started messing with it and calling it Blue Magic that he confronted Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character about it. So, like I said, he's a man of principle. He's not malicious. He let Cuba Gooding Jr. do whatever he was doing until he started calling his product Blue Magic. He was like, he's like, it's like Pepsi. I own that.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's a villain with a code.
Right. I guess you could say that. That's cool. But Training Day is a good example. That's a good example. Cause that's why. Cause I was thinking like
even
people want a Darth Vader movie, but it's like, do we really want that? Do we really want a Darth Vader movie? Could we take? They had a whole trilogy that take, even though it wasn't good. Besides, I like Revenge of the Sith.
See, I like Darth Vader. I don't know if I want to see 2 hours of Darth Vader.
That's what I'm saying, and that's exactly what I'm saying. He's better as a character that he's known, but we don't need to see him all the time.
Right.
Like I think him coming in Rogue One, obviously he was gonna be in Rogue One. That was no question. He was gonna be in that movie. But the way they had him set up in it, he's there. We know he's there.
He's essentially a boogeyman character.
Exactly.
I don't want to see a movie based. I don't want to see a movie where the boogeyman is the main character. You know what I mean? Like they're making a Joker movie.
Right.
I want to see that. I'd like to see the Joker as the main character. I don't want him to be redeemable. I'd like to see him, like that Denzel Washington,
right.
Alonzo Harris, Training Day type role.
Kind of like he's ready to carnage, but
Right. I'd sit there for 2 hours watching that because
the Joker's a tricky character. See,
yes, there are many.
That's different.
Yeah, there are many sides to the Joker. Every time we've seen the Joker in anything, we've seen a different iteration of the Joker, even in animation.
Right. Obviously.
Mark Hamill's Joker, who is hands down the greatest Joker of all time.
Yeah, he's my favorite Joker. I put him over Heath Ledger because of just the context.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's Joker is
how long he been playing the character.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's Joker is the only Joker to culminate all sides of that character. Heath Ledger was the anarchist. Jared Leto is the psychopath.
Right.
Jack Nicholson is the gangster. Even what's his face? He does Jake the dog on Adventure Time. John DiMaggio, I think that's his name. He did the voice of the Joker in Under the Red Hood.
Oh, okay.
Even he was a more of a Joker type, jester type Joker. Because he always had a joke, something funny to say.
Okay.
But like I said, Mark Hamill's Joker was the only one to culminate all sides of the Joker, and I think if someone cannot necessarily duplicate that, but because you can't duplicate Mark Hamill, but if somebody can do that and put that in a movie with the Joker, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah.
I don't think that people or a person will be able to do that with Darth Vader because he's the one dimension. Even though he is, I guess you could say he's a man of principle.
Yeah.
But he just seems kind of annoyed all the
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch 2 hours of just somebody being annoyed. And it not be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gonna be serious.
Yeah.
It's gonna be serious, and it's not gonna be like Star Wars. I see Star Wars as a fun adventure. If you say have a film with Darth Vader, it's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be very depressing, and it's gonna be a rated R film. Right. He's gonna be mutilating people left and right, choking people out and stuff like that. So, enough of that. We're gonna segue into another topic. My friend John put up a post on Facebook, and he put up a post saying 90% of horror films are trash.
Man, you gonna get me crucified, man.
And no, I agree with you because I'm a horror fan and I know when horror movies are bad, but I still enjoy them though. That's the one thing that you're right. You're totally right. You're right on every level. But we look past that. And I'll give you an example. The whole Friday the 13th franchise is all trash.
Finally, somebody said
it's all trash.
Finally,
Chris,
somebody said
if you find this video and watch it, I'm sorry. It's trash. But I enjoyed the hell out of it. I love it. I love that it's cheesy. I love that it's trash. I love the characters we don't give a fuck about them. Because it's not about that. It's about giving us shitty characters and for them to die. There's times we root for Jason to kill these motherfuckers because they stupid. Friday 13th. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street. I give you the first one's really good. The first one's good. Hands down, the first one is a good horror film. That's a good horror film.
The first Friday the 13th?
No, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
Nightmare on Elm Street. The first Nightmare on Elm Street is a good horror film.
This live stream is about to end real quick.
It's a good horror film. The sequels are, you know, you can look past them.
They go back and forth.
Yeah, my favorite one besides the first one, have to be the third one. Then it skips the fourth, skips the fifth, even skips 6. Then 7 is okay. New Hammer is okay. Freddy vs. Jason is just I don't count that. That's a standalone. You could put those in both franchises, so it's not technically a Freddy or Jason movie. So that's more of a collaboration. So but the first one's pretty good. But then you got movies like The Shining. You got movies like The Conjuring or Insidious. You got the first Pet Cemetery is pretty good. It's pretty good. The first Pet Cemetery is pretty good. Carrie is good. I like Carrie. The first Children of the Corn is okay. The first Hellraiser is pretty good. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, we got some good ones. But it's a small majority, and you're right. Like, most of the stuff we do see, it's just, you know, it's set up for a jump scare. Even the newest It, I haven't talked about the newest It at all, but the newest It is pretty good. That kind of shows, like, yeah, horror can be good, but it's all, one thing it accommodates, it has to have good characters and a good story. That's the one thing most horror films are lacking on. Now, I want to hear your spill on it, because you probably got more about it.
You pretty much said everything that I was gonna say. The thing I don't like about horror movies is that they lack story. It's just an excuse to kill people, especially slashers. I really can't get with slashers just because they made some of the worst horror movies. Now if you got a good story, even with bad character development, if you got a good story, you got a pretty decent movie. Mm-hmm. But slashers, all it is just blood and gore, and this is just my opinion. It just doesn't do it for me. I like good storytelling. I like good character development. I want to feel for these characters. I want to not see certain characters die, and if I do want to see certain characters die, you have to make me feel like they deserve death. Mm-hmm. Such as The Witch. First time I watched the movie, I wasn't really feeling it, but that was because I wasn't really paying attention to it. Second time I watched it, and I watched it from an analytical point of view, The Witch is a fantastic horror movie, and it's more psychological than it is boo. You know what I mean? It
jump scare.
Yeah. Even the story itself is pretty simple, but the interaction between the characters is genius.
That's the one thing that gets it. That's why it works so well.
Yes.
You like the children. The children work very well. They're good.
Yes.
But the characters are really good. It made me. It's hard when a movie made me want to read a book. That made me want to read the book. It made me want to read the It book so bad. I've read pieces, but I haven't read the full thing. It's over 1,000 pages.
It's like a dictionary.
It's like a dictionary. We're gonna read that. And that's what I think. You think this deserved 3 parts or 2?
Two.
Just 2?
I don't want to see.
You don't think it should have 3 parts?
No.
Cause they obviously cut shit out of the book, obviously already.
Yeah, but I don't want. Even though I like it, like it. I know I'll probably get a lot of flack for this, but it is one of the best horror movies I've ever seen. This new one.
I've already seen it like 5 times already.
I've seen it 3.
Yeah, I watched it 5 times already.
I've seen it 3.
I like it. I really liked it, man. I really did.
I don't want to see them as kids another time.
Right. It's gonna be more flashback.
Yeah. Nor do I want to see an elongated period of them being adults. I think that it should stay at 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
But where it definitely has a chance to be better than the first one as far as the adult part. Because I mean, let's be honest, the original It, from an objective point of view, is not very good.
No. And right now, a lot of people have said that, so it's not like it's not like you're just saying that. A lot of people are saying that. The best part of that is the kids again. The kids are the best part of that, of the original, and then Tim Curry. Tim Curry is the only thing that makes that redeemable. You just want to. You can look online and look at all his scenes. You ain't gotta watch the movie. You can just go back and watch his scenes and you'll be satisfied. But
the scares aren't scary.
Yeah, the original.
The dialogue is.
But you gotta think about what time period it was.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Early '90s, so we're used to more scary stuff now.
Right. The dialogue is corny, but like you said, Tim Curry is silly and frightening at the same time. His eyes, yeah.
And even like the scene in the sewer where he's talking to George. You look at his eyes and he look high as fuck for him. He look like he's done. I'm gonna smoke on set and I'm gonna go and do my scene. His eyes look so red, like he just got done smoking some dope. And that's what the one thing that you got me when I was young. It wasn't that he was a clown, because I'm not scared of clowns. Clowns ain't shit. But it's his eyes and the way he talks and how. And that's the one thing why I liked about the new one is that his eyes and the way he talked and like just everything. Like you hit it on those. He obviously it's not a human, right? So he's trying to talk like a human, but he changes model tone up and down. Tries to talk like a human, but he can't because he doesn't know how to do it for real. Like he doesn't know how to keep one tone. He changes his model tone all the time. You watch that very first scene when he's talking to Georgie. He's changed his tone.
There's a lot of inflection.
Inflection in his voice where like he's trying to talk like a regular person, but he can't because he's not human. He's not human, and I love that. I noticed that like the 5th time I watched it, like he's changing the way he's talking to Georgie, and not just because he's a clown, but just because he can't do it because he's not human.
Right.
And I agree with you. It probably is one of the best horror movies I've seen. It is. If it keeps making me watch it over and over again, you got something good in your hands.
Right.
It deserves a lot of money it's getting. But and that's the one thing that's why I'm saying you're right. That's in the 10% of good. Because you're right, there's a lot of trash. And I got a lot of horror pack Blu-rays that show that horror is trash. It's just dumb characters that get designed set to kill. And that's the one thing that's funny. If I wanted to do, I would want to start doing horror.
Yeah.
But when you start doing it and you're known for it, it's hard to get out of it.
Right.
Wes Craven, James Wan. It's really hard to get out of it, and that's the one thing Wes Craven. I watched this thing on Scream. Scream is a good one too. The very first Scream is good too. I just did a review on Scream. Go check it out. I like the very first Scream, but he didn't want to do the first Scream because he didn't want to get stuck doing horror. But look what happened. He got stuck doing horror. What other horror Wes Craven movies have you seen besides Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream?
I can't even name.
And he did some other films, but they weren't that successful because he's Wes Craven. His name sounds like a damn horror. Wes Craven.
There is a horror director, or a few horror directors that have started out doing horror and gone to other things. Sam Raimi.
Yep.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, you're right, because he did the Frighteners first. You're right. He did the Frighteners first. You're right.
Peter Jackson did I can't remember the name of the movie. It's a cult movie. It's a cult classic. I just remember the one scene where the dude he took a lawnmower and just sliced these. I think it was a zombie up.
I don't remember that. It's gotta be something low. It's gotta be something that's
it's a low budget movie. It was actually his first movie.
But I did forget there are some directors that did. But that's the one thing that's hard to do.
And I think James Wan is the next one to transcend.
Well, he's already done one. He's done some other films. He did Death Sentence, and he did Fast. He did a recent couple Fast. He did a Fast and Furious movie. So he could do other stuff, but he's mostly known for horror.
Did he do 6 or 7?
He did 7.
He did 7. Justin Lin did 6. He did
Justin Lin did
5,
3, 4, 5, and 6, and then James Wan did 7, and F. Gary Gray did 8.
Okay.
So. But just going back to that topic, I that's why when I like to vote, like he's right. He's not. Your statement is not wrong. But what I like to say is that all film is subjective. You have a right to your opinion. No one can ever question you about your opinion, ever, because that's what you like. You know, if you don't like horror, it's gonna you have the right to say that.
Right. And then I mean, as you see, most people agree with me because like you said, even though film is an art form and art is subjective. I was coming from an objective point of view, just based on the ability to tell a compelling story. Horror movies as a whole don't do that.
Yeah, but you're definitely right.
There
are specific ones that do though. But,
yes,
but
The Conjuring.
Yeah. The Conjuring, I love pointing to that one because that's a movie where it does tell a compelling story, has good characters. You really feel for the characters. That's the one thing. You have me feeling for the characters besides, he's about to die, you know.
Right.
You have me feel for these characters, then you got a good movie. Like, I'm going back to it. I felt for these kids. Right. So I don't want nothing to happen to these kids, regardless of how dumb they were to go to these fucking things. They kept running to every situation. But I felt for them. In The Conjuring, I felt for those girls.
And that's why I like James Wan, because he goes...
Same with Insidious.
He goes against the horror movie stereotypes. If somebody... If something is haunting the house, what do you do?
They move. And the first Insidious
proved that they moved and then went with them.
It's like gum. And that's, I love that. It's like gum. The Patrick Wilson character said that. It's like gum. It kind of just follows you. That's what it did.
Even though it was so simple, but it was genius because everybody has made the joke at least once. I'll just move. And that's the first thing they did. Before the second act of the movie starts, at the end of the first act, they moved from the house and it followed them. And they realized it was the son, you obviously can't get rid of their son, so they had to call in some external help because even though Amityville, I like Amityville.
Amityville's pretty good too. The very first one's pretty good. Right. That's more. See, at that point in time, that was between that came out 79. So you had between like that. So you had The Exorcist. You had then after that you had then that's when Friday the 13th came out. So at that point in time, it kind of got overlooked a little bit. The very first got overlooked because a lot of people haven't seen it. Unless they were right.
If you haven't seen the original Amityville, watch it. It's dated.
Most people seen the remake more than the original.
Yeah, the original Amityville horror is dated, but it's compelling as far as the element of fear. Because you don't see a whole lot going on, but that's what makes it.
It's more of the whisper.
Yeah, that's what makes it scary because you don't really see much.
The remake showed those things, and that's why I felt like, oh yeah, this is early 2000s. They were showing a lot of the images. This felt like Drag Me to Hell type of feeling. Yeah. It felt like a lot of stuff was getting thrown at you, other than you had to hear the voice or hear the scratch or feel that you were there other than just shown to you. Not to everybody. The one thing that scares you is when you don't see it.
Right.
When you hear it. Or like, I point to the scene in The Conjuring. The little girl sees a dark corner. You don't see nothing. Nothing. The little girl walks over in the corner and says, there's nothing here. But she's scared out of her mind because she sees it, but you don't see it. You have to visualize in your own mind to see what you see. And usually when you visualize, it's the worst thing. You never think of it's not the worst thing. You always think the worst.
Right.
Like that's when
the scariest things are the things that you can't see.
I think when you little, like when you hearing your brother get a whooping.
Yeah.
And you're not there, and you always think it's the worst. It's always the worst. But it's never that bad. You always think the worst when he's getting whooped and you ain't there. That's why I think my little brother get his ass dogged. But it's never like that. It's never like that. He's just getting a little whooping. That's it.
Oh man.
But going back to what you right, but like I said, it's just up to how much you can take what you enjoy. I enjoy that. Like I can watch Art of Friday 13 when I know it's stupid, I know it's trash, but I sit there and watch it. Same with Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Chucky. I can get you the first Halloween is a masterpiece. It's the reason why we have the other movies. So that one is none and void. You can't talk about the first Halloween. And same with what came before Halloween? Texas Chainsaw didn't come out before that, did it? Texas Chainsaw came out before Halloween. People forget that. I think that came out in 76. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out first, so people forget that movie before they forget Halloween. But Halloween was the one that showed that we can do these slashers. So,
I liked Halloween. It was a lot of stuff as far as set design that was just off.
They definitely don't feel like fall.
Yeah, it was clearly summer. It was clearly summer. And then you want me to believe this is fall? I didn't even know those things were piles of leaves before you pointed it out.
Yeah, but that's why I want to go into film so bad, because the little things like that, like they literally had to carry like 2 trash bags of leaves and throw them on the set though, man. They literally had to just.
But they didn't even make it look like leaves.
They can't, but
I thought it was just piles of dirt.
The budget. I want to see what she was. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when she was walking past the park. Yeah,
number dirt in the.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that?
Oh, that's when the little Tommy is walking through the grass and you see all the dark spots on the grass.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be leaves.
Or when they was she was walking or whatever. And you could tell that they were just throwing leaves in front of the camera because all the leaves and stuff was blowing real hard, but her hair wasn't. Nothing else is moving but the leaves going in front of the camera.
That's just budgeting time. They was filming. They filmed it like in California somewhere, so in the summer. They had no budget, but that's the one thing. That's why that's one thing I do love that movie, that they only had a certain amount of time. No budget, and they had to do what they had to do, and they did it, and they became what it was. The one, out of all the Halloweens, the one that felt the most Halloween was the 4th one. It really did feel like Halloween. That every time I watch it, I feel like it's Halloween. I recently just watched it, and it felt like it was Halloween. But the first one is a good horror film. That one is like one of the holy grails. Like you want to put like one holy grails of horror. That's one of the ones you would put because of what it did for the future. You know. We wouldn't have Nightmare Street, we wouldn't have Friday the 13th, we wouldn't have those movies. It wasn't for Halloween.
I give you that. But yeah, I personally like ghost stories.
I just thought it was a good topic, man. Cause that's a good thing people don't point out. That horror is a trash genre, but you do got some gems in there, and it makes you appreciate those gems more. Like The Conjuring, like Insidious, like it makes you appreciate them way more because we've had trash before. You got a lot of.
You can say that about other genres like action.
Yeah.
There are a lot of trash action movies because they
pass.
follow the same formula.
We give those something. People slack more on horror than action though.
Yeah, they do. But like with action, you have the same formula. You gotta have some sex or some kind of love interest to the main character, and then you gotta have the straight man and the funny guy. Now the straight man could be the main character, or the straight man could be the supporting character, right. And then you gotta have a villain that is not so smart.
Right. Yeah, obviously.
You know, I mean, every now and then you get a good one where the villain is great and he's very intelligent, like Die Hard.
That's put up on the pedestal of a good
yes.
action.
That's I mean.
And that's a Christmas movie.
So is Iron Man 3.
Hey, is it Christmas themed? It's a Christmas movie.
So is Iron Man 3.
It's got snow in it.
So?
It's supposed to be Christmas. The first song starts off with a Christmas song.
Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie.
I will definitely watch it around Christmas time. I definitely will watch that around Christmas time. What's another movie I was thinking about that was a Christmas movie, and I'm like, you can watch both on Christmas and Halloween. The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. And I will be watching that because I just decorated my house, so I will be watching Nightmare Before Christmas within this next couple of days. But is that in Nerd Talk? Because I think we had a decent amount of time talking.
I think that's all we had.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, man, before we wrap it up?
No, that's all I had to talk about.
So I just thought that was a good topic to bring up. We probably bring up another topic. We're going to talk about horror remakes, because it's October, so I want to bring a lot of horror thing. I'm trying to review a lot of horror movies too. I just did Scream 1, Scream 2. I got to do Scream 3, and I want to do some other horror movies too. Some of my favorites at least. I already did. I'll probably do a review for I did Halloween, but I probably want to do another review for it. Cause I just think, man, it's Halloween. It's October, man. I'm gonna talk about some horror movies. So I was watching some too. I just watched Scream 1, Scream 2. I gotta watch Scream 3. I'm gonna flag the fuck out of that movie, bro.
Before we wrap up, what are your 3 favorite horror movies of all time?
My 3 favorite all time. I'm gonna go with the first Halloween. I gotta throw The Conjuring in there just because I freaking love that movie, dude. I absolutely do love The Conjuring. Like when I watch it, for one, when I pop it in, it's just it feels like an 80s horror movie. It feels like an 80s horror movie, and it just the characters are good. You really do like Patrick Wilson, and I don't even know the actress who plays Lorraine. I don't know her name, but you feel for those. You really like the chemistry. They have good chemistry together.
Vera from Maisha.
She has a very strange name. 3 all time. Wow, that's hard. So I always go to the first Halloween. That's the first horror movie I saw was Halloween. That's the very first one I ever saw. That I gotta say Nightmare on Elm Street because I saw that when I was really young too, and it really hit me. It really did hit me. It made me want to watch a lot of other horror movies. It made me did. And Scream can be honorable mention just because I watched it so young. But my uncle used to terrorize the fuck out of me with that mask. That Ghostface mask used to terrorize the fuck out of me. My brother. He did. Like he really did terrorize with that. And the Michael Myers mask. I hated those masks when I was young. But I was so intrigued. I'm like, I gotta watch this. I got to. He literally took me and my brother to go see Halloween H2O when he was 5 years old. 1998. I will never forget that. We were supposed to go see Small Soldiers, but he took me to go see Halloween H2O.
That's not.
I will never forget that.
That's not a good uncle.
I love him though because he made me love horror. He did make me love. He made me love horror movies.
He took
really
a 5-year-old to see Halloween H2O.
And I thank him because I made me want to watch horror movies. They made me love horror movies. They made me not so scared no more. And I gotta give it to Ed, bro. I gotta put Ed in there. It gotta be in there too, man. I gotta put it in there. It gotta be in there, bro.
My top 3. Number 3, probably the new It. No, I take that back. Number 3, even though I know that it's not high on the horror movie list, but it is one of my favorite movies just because the story is so interesting. The Haunting.
Oh, that's a good one.
From 98 or 97.
That's a good one.
I love that movie because I had never seen a house. I had never seen a haunted house movie like that where the house was actually alive.
Huh?
Like there were things that I've seen movies where there are things inside the house making the house move around, but I had never seen. One scene that stands out for me is when Hugh Crane's face was in the ceiling. Mm-hmm. I love that scene. Mm-hmm. I'd never seen that before. But I was only 8 years old, mm-hmm. and it scared me. But like I said, like you said with H2, I was intrigued. Right. Mm-hmm. So that's number 3 on my list. Number 2 is It. Just because it was everything I wanted out of a horror movie. It had a good story. It had great character development. Everybody got a very good amount of screen time.
The scare they kept hitting you with.
Yeah. It was actually scary.
They hit you with scares left to right, left to right, left to right.
Although it's not the scariest thing I've ever seen, it was still scary. And it was funny. Like I thoroughly enjoyed watching that movie. I had a good time all 3 times that I saw it.
I didn't check my watch not once when I was watching it. I checked my watch not once when I was watching it. I wanted to keep going, and when it was in it, like, oh, this is the end.
Yeah.
And I wanted to at least show a snippet of when they're adults, but they obviously haven't cast the adults.
Right.
And they say that at the end credit is just a laugh of Pennywise laughing. There's nothing.
Yeah, I didn't stick around for the end because I didn't think.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'll wait for the Blu-ray to do that.
Number 1, The Conjuring, the first Conjuring. Honorable mention, Insidious.
Yeah, that's definitely honorable mention. That definitely's working.
Yeah, because Insidious is the movie that actually got me back into horror movies because before I refused to watch any horror movie because, like I said, 90% of them are trash. But Insidious was the one that actually that got me into giving more horror movies a chance. So now, like any horror movie that comes out, I'll watch it at least once because it might surprise me.
Right.
But
like it.
Yeah, like
it's another horror movie. It's another horror movie.
I mean, not. You know what? I didn't go into it thinking that it was just another horror movie because the trailer looked really good. I was like, this is actually gonna be creepy. I'm trying to think, what movie was it? I went into Lights Out. We saw Lights Out together. I went into Lights Out thinking it was probably gonna be just another horror movie, and it was, but I think that I would have enjoyed that movie more if I had just watched it just to watch it. I was too analytical going into Lights Out.
I think you was thinking about Insidious and The Conjuring at the same time too.
Yeah, because like you said before when we saw it, like I knew everything that was going to happen before it happened.
I do that too. That's the one thing I hate, especially now with these new ones, especially after Insidious, after The Conjuring, you start seeing the tropes that they're gonna do the exact same.
It bothers me not because
I knew how the ending was gonna end.
Not because they were following a formula, because I think you have to have some kind of system when you're going to make certain movies. But it was because like it was just hard for me just to sit down and watch the movie and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like it. The only movies that I can just sit down and watch mindlessly are like superhero joints. You know, I love them.
Yeah, that's different.
even the bad ones, I love them. But it's like with horror movies and dramas, I analyze and I wish I didn't do that.
That's not a bad thing. That's why, and I tell everybody, I said, when you watch movies, you watch them differently than how I watch them. Like when I was watching it, enjoying it and analyzing it at every point. Like, yeah, they're doing everything that I want them to do. Cause I don't really see a down moment. Even though the scene where they were in the house and they transition where they all split up, that kind of like that was that low point for me. Like, oh, why they doing this? They don't need to split up. Why they splitting up? After all the events happened in the house, they just split up and they all doing their own thing. And then it for Beverly. I didn't like Beverly getting captured either. I didn't like Beverly. I didn't like that. But I did like it. Like it brought more of her character. Yeah, she wasn't scared.
I was just getting ready to say that.
She wasn't scared.
I like that.
Like, oh yeah, I'm not scared of you.
Right. I like that because not because of what it did for her character, but because of what it did for Pennywise's character. He was almost dumbfounded, and then he showed her the dead lights. He was like, well, in the meantime, look at these lights. But he didn't at first he didn't really know. He was like, you ain't scared. Like,
I got nothing.
Yeah, because
I gotta wait for your friends to come.
Right, he likes to scare the kids before eating, because ain't nothing stopping him from eating the kids. Like he's very powerful. He can just eat them. But it's like
it tastes better when it's
right. It's like putting salt on the meat.
But then I just think maybe these specific kids have a special power. I even thought that about the original, and I'm like, maybe these specific kids can just defeat it. Maybe just these kids can defeat it. That's why they come back and defeat it again as adults. Because for when they've been through it, but they were the only ones to do it. Maybe they have a special ability. Not saying like a power or anything, but just like their heart to being friends, to being good people. Maybe they're the only ones that can stop Pennywise.
Kind of like Matrix, Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah,
how there had been ones before him, but he was the one.
Right. Like maybe these kids are the ones to stop Pennywise from doing all this carnage. Yeah. Obviously they didn't. They come back to do it again, but like maybe he could eat them. Because you think about it.
Right, nothing was stopping him from eating
the scene. I go back to the bully. He just ate him like nothing. He scared him at first with the zombies, but he was able just to eat him right then and there. He scared these kids once and twice and didn't get them at all.
Mm-hmm. The only one he almost got was Stan.
Right.
And that's, Stan was scary throughout the whole movie.
And it's funny, when his character, and spoiler alert, his character does die. His character dies. In the theater, I'm gonna just shake my head because I already see it coming. Because the way they portray his character, he's scared. He's scared about the whole time. But that's the way the character is, though. He's scared.
That's one thing that I hope they change in the movie. I mean, not him dying, but I hope they change the way he dies.
Yeah, he kills himself.
He kills himself in the book and in the original movie.
How would they change it, though?
But I want it to get him.
You would rather have it kill him.
I would rather have it kill him because it'll. I think that would shock the Losers Club and like we are expendable. We actually could die. I mean, like I know we defeated this thing before, but Stan is dead. We could die.
But then that goes back to the point where I just said that. I mean, maybe they don't have a special ability to kill him then.
Right.
Because that's why I think him killing himself makes it better, because Pennywise didn't kill him. He killed himself because he was scared to come back. That's why I think it's so. And that's why I think they shouldn't change it, because it makes it more. It's a traumatizing thing more than a thing got him. He killed himself because he didn't want to go back to defeat Pennywise because he was so scared the first time.
You know what bothers me about it? This ain't got nothing to do with the story, but he was about to get some butt before he killed himself in the movie.
Oh yeah, he was about to get it.
Yeah, he was about to
get the original, right? He was right.
He was about to get that poon. He went in the bathroom.
And that scene is kind of when his wife's reaction.
Yeah.
No, like over the top. Like why? I know this is the '90s, but I'm ready to see them as adults. I'm ready to see it. I'm hoping they cast good actors.
If they don't cast Jessica Chastain as Ben, I'm going to be very upset.
And you know what makes it more better?
She is perfect.
It's not even that. It's that they worked together before on Mama. You ever saw Mama?
I didn't see Mama. She was one of the little girls.
No, she was the actress.
No,
she was
the girl that played Bev.
Oh, I forgot her name, but she's one of the main characters in there. Jessica Chastain is one of the main characters.
Yeah.
And the director is the same director.
Oh, I thought you was talking about Jessica Chastain and the girl that played Bev.
No. I'm talking about the director and the actress. They've worked together before.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be upset if he could just call her up and say, I want you to be in this movie.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
They have a good relationship too, I heard. And she recently put up a post going to see the movie. But I just think, to the director and their friends, that's why she go and see it. But it makes it more better that, But the Amy Adams thing don't make it no difference either, because it's a Warner Brothers movie. She works with DC. It's a Warner Brothers property, so it wouldn't be that hard to get Amy Adams to get into too. But it's here and there. Those are two actors that people want: Amy Adams or Jessica Chastain.
I like Amy Adams, but I would prefer Jessica Chastain because Jessica Chastain is a little.
What about the age?
A little more rough around the edges than.
What's the age difference though? Is Amy Adams younger?
See,
because we got.
I think she's younger.
And that's the one thing why I don't want them to do Chris Pratt. Because Chris Pratt's not in his 40s.
Yeah, he's not old enough.
He's not old enough. So
casting
him would kind of make
by the time the
sense.
movie came out, he might be 40, maybe.
I gotta check when he was born.
But I don't know.
That's one thing when people are saying he's acting like.
But even let's say he's 40. Let's say he is 40 or will be 40 by the time the movie comes out. He has a youthful face. He doesn't look like he'd be 40.
They can make him look older. Just make him grow out his beard, and they'll make the actors look the way they look. Cause I think even the original, certain actors weren't old enough, but they like rake their hair up a little bit, or I think even my character, I don't think the actor was that old. I think they just grayed his hair, made him look older. I think.
Mike. Oh yeah.
Mike Hamill's character. He's the dad of sister.
Tim Reed.
I don't think he's that old. I think they made him look.
They definitely grayed the side of his hair because he wasn't that old.
But I'm definitely ready, and then I know I think they're going to do flashback. Obviously, they're going to show. We're going to see the kids again. Cause that's the one thing. Like, damn, that mean we're not going to see no kids. Cause they did the whole movie compared to the kids. I'm like, damn, I mean the whole movie next one going to be all about the adults. I'm like, no, they're going to do flashback because we want to see these kids. Cause I want to see the kids. I love all the kids. All the kids are good.
Because technically,
even the kids
in the original miniseries, the whole first half was technically just a big flashback because you see Bill as an adult first.
Mm-hmm. Right. It goes well. The first act is them being kids and each one they do flashback adult. You see how they met 1st. That's the whole thing. You see they're all adults first, then they go to kids, adult kids, adult kids, adult kids, like that.
Right.
Then they go back to where they're kids throughout the whole thing. Then they go back. But obviously they didn't do that in this one, so that's why I was thinking, they're gonna change the formula. They're gonna just make it all about the adults. But I said no, they wouldn't do that because they seen the reaction from the kids. They would bring the kids back. Yeah. Cause that's what my assumption. I'm like, oh, they love the cast. Let's bring the cast back and put them in flashbacks.
Yeah. But I don't want to wait until 2019.
It'll be alright. I think that's a good enough time to wait. Let it wait out a year. I'm ready for the Blu-ray at least. I'm definitely buying the Blu-ray. And hopefully it has a steelbook. Cause the steelbook gonna be raw. It's gonna be a good steelbook. And I hope they do like an old like a nod, like a kind of like a vintage cover. Like you think you tag me some posters too, like some kind of like how Stranger did things do, like kind of like something like that. Make it like an 80s cover. I hope it be like that.
If I did a cover for it, I would make the cover look like the newspaper. And have, how Pennywise looked in the newspaper, I would do the cover like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd probably do it like make it like the Goonies, mixed in with it.
Yeah, if it was a steelbook, I'd do the newspaper type thing.
I give you that one. But I think that's it. I think that's all we wanted to talk about today in the Nerd Talk. I'm going to do this more. We're going to live stream it more than just do videos. It's easier doing live streams because we can just talk as long as we want to talk. And I ain't got to worry about editing nothing. It's easier. Hopefully we still live. Hopefully we still live.
We live, bitch.
Hopefully we still live because I hope the internet didn't cut off and just cut off. So, because we've been talking a long time. Getting our thoughts out. My boy John. We back with this Nerd Talk thing. And start off the next year with something big. Hopefully we end the year with something big. Hopefully this movie blows our socks away because we'll probably do a Nerd Talk segment just doing a review about this, going into spoilers and everything. We're going to talk about Thor. When that comes out, probably a Nerd Talk, probably do a big review, spoilers, non-spoilers, in the whole live stream. I want to talk about, in this month, horror remakes versus the original. We're going to talk more about horror stuff within this month, even though he doesn't like horror, but I'm going to talk about horror stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Go ahead and slap the like button. Go ahead and check out my boy John on his Facebook. He does a lot of music things. Go ahead and check out his SoundCloud. I'll put his SoundCloud in the description below. Go ahead and check out my channel. I got more videos coming. I'm uploading Batman Telltale right now as we speak. Hope you guys are ready for that. And we're out on this one, you guys. Peace. What if we not live? Oh, we live. We still live.